questions for Nick, and we'll start with CJ.
Hey, Nick. Nobody wants to go to the minor leagues. Never happy to get sent down, but it does seem like the bounce back for you has been pretty real. Do you reflect on that time now and look at it as maybe a positive that you got a little bit of a breather?
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, you don't want to be sent down to the minor leagues, but you don't want to struggle, like all those things. But it's a little bit of a reset going down there, and I think it was good. It was a good experience. Something that I've been able to learn from and take with me. So I think it was good for sure.
More mental or physical, maybe the difference for you now back in the big leagues?
Probably mental. I think everything kind of stems from that. I think in this game, so much is mental, and that can creep into the physical, of course. But I think as a mental reset, it just kind of, that's kind of what it was.
Obviously, your bat likes your facial hair. What about Roxanne? Where's she with this?
I think she likes it enough. Yeah.
As long as you're hitting, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Evan?
I was going to ask you, is your favorite superhero Wolverine by any chance? Because that's kind of the look we got going here.
Not my favorite superhero, but I like X-Men and Wolverine movies and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of just the let it go beard.
All right. Listen, when it comes to when you face elite competitors like tonight against Ohtani, how much does that tell you about yourself, the hitter? Like, what do you get out of those kind of matchups?
At this level, you're facing like elite pitching all the time. Of course, some guys are like really, really elite superstars. But at the end of the day, like, as soon as it leaves their hand, it's, you and the ball. So, that's kind of what you try and simplify it down to, and try not to make it more than you have to, to try and go out there and have success against, anybody that takes them out.
Do you think that's a great philosophical approach? Do you think guys are on the whole capable of doing that, or do they get a little bit more geeked up, when it is somebody that has the reputation of an Ohtani or a Cole or Lance Lynn?
I think it takes experience facing those guys, right? So if you've never done it before, or even if you've only done it a couple times, like facing some of those elite arms, you almost have to trick yourself into, it's, at the end of the day, it's just you and the ball. But like I can think back to 2019 facing Cole and Verlander in Houston, and those guys both had really good years. Both of them had really good careers, and you make it a lot in your mind as a young player. You never faced them before, but to have gone through that experience, in 19 and to face Cole later on, and like you learn from that at the end of the day, it's you and the ball. So I think it takes that experience.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
John?
Just a slight follow-up on that thought, Nick. So do you try to absolutely minimize in your own mind who it is, in this case tonight, Ohtani, and it is, just as close as you can get it to just you and the ball?
So you do your preparation beforehand, like, like from facing him in the past or guys that haven't faced him, you kind of see what he does to, similar hitters. You do your homework beforehand, so you feel prepared, so that when you go out there, you do try and simplify it as much as you can and just kind of just play and compete. I think that's kind of the best way to approach it.
You had said going back, to the minors, you felt like, you wanted to sort of refine the fun in the game. It's kind of a chicken or the egg question, Nick, but, obviously it's more fun when you have 10 games in a row where you've gotten hit and all that. But did you do something before you started having success to help you have more fun? Or was it just simply you started having success and of course that's fun?
I made it a point to, really highlight like all the things I love about the game and being at the park, right? Like how much I love talking to you guys, or, things like just showing up and telling stories in the clubhouse and listening to guys talk. Being in a major league stadium, or, seeing a different view of the stadium, sitting up in the stands, like all those different things, that I love about this game. I think that's kind of what I've tried to, constantly remind myself of, kind of no matter what's going on in between the lines, because it can be a hard game and there's ups and downs. But to keep reminding myself, like all the things that made me fall in love with this game and that I love about, playing this game and having this opportunity to be a big leaguer every single day. Because what I've tried to focus on.
Perfect. Thank you.
Alex.
And Nick, just curious, on the defensive side, did you feel like you had to make any adjustments, and what adjustments were there if you did?
Can you repeat that question? I didn't catch that.
Sorry. Defensively, did you feel like you needed to make any adjustments when you went to the minors?
I think I was on a good, track of what I was working on up here, before I got set down. So I continued, that routine. We did a couple different drills down in Round Rock that I like too. Like there'd be days that all the infielders would take ground balls at third, like all 5, 6 of us, we'd all take them at third, and then we'd all take them at short, and we'd all take them at second, before BP and anything. And that was a fun drill that I like, just to, keep my feet moving, throw from different, places on the field, see the ball off the bat at different angles. But I kept my routine pretty much the same, with some of those added fun drills that, Kenny had us do.
Thanks, Nick.
Go back to Evan.
Hey, you probably more than anybody kind of appreciate baseball history on this roster. When you do look at Ohtani, and I know you haven't spent time like just gawking at him when you're on the field competing against him. When you do look at the season he's having, when you do look at the numbers, and when you look at highlights, what kind of runs through your mind?
Oh, it's pretty cool to get to play against him. I think you're playing against, one of the most talented hitters and pitchers, doing it at the same time, in the history of this game. So to be able to compete against guys like that is an honor and a privilege. It's really cool to, go up against them and try and beat them.
And so there hasn't been a moment in those 2 starts you saw him where you did, whether you were on the bench or in the field or whatever, like said, holy crap, I can't believe this guy is. There wasn't any moment of awe that caught you, was there?
No, nothing, nothing, not while we're playing them. I'll see highlights that pop up when against other teams. I'm like, oh my gosh, he hit that ball that far, or, that kind of thing. But, when we're playing them, it's just, focus on doing anything we can to, score runs or prevent him from getting hits and, driving runs in.
Okay. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed talking to us so much. Thanks, man.
Anything?